it's not. So, hello, I am live now. Just come in and tap the like button. I just feel like talking today about things um, going on in the natural world. Things going on in the natural world. I made the title of the stream, they want you to be comfortable with zombies. They want you to be comfortable with being zombies, zombified. And I just felt like talking about that today because people are comfortable with not living. Um, Things like that. Uh, my water fountain running is running on double A batteries, and it's still running. It hasn't ran out yet. My mini water fountain. So I just wanted it to feel like life was flowing in, so I just turned on my water fountain all night because the energy in here is so dry and dead. The energy in this house is so dead. So it needs to feel lively, and it doesn't feel lively. It's not just the house; it's the whole city that doesn't feel lively. It just feels like everybody's comfortable with just having their natural resources stolen from them, taken from them, and then in replace of that, being given what they're trying to call convenience. Hopping right into your car instead of just going down, just walking. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like, have you noticed the amount of people who are disabled in your area? I mean, your next door neighbor, they are disabled. Like, in my name, where I live, every single person in this neighborhood is either disabled, elderly, or in school. There's no one, I don't think there's really anybody in my age in this area, but I'm just noticing that now people are not free. People are comfortable with being zombies, and they're trying to make it look glamorous at the same time. Like, you don't notice these little small things because people aren't being all in your face about it. They're not commercializing it, but just because they're not screaming and hollering about it doesn't mean you shouldn't pay attention to it. Because no one's going to commercialize things that are God given and things that came naturally. Like, they got to profit off somebody somehow. So if you could shame something as simple as going down to the store or walking, being outside, because they're trying to do that, then they could guilt you into being their slave, working for them, working for the system, and then justifying um, not living. So that's just what I wanted to talk about today. People have their whole entire life stolen from you, stolen from them. Hello to everybody in the chat. Because I didn't say that yet, but yeah. They want people to feel comfortable with having their whole entire livelihood taken from them in replace of working or giving their attention to something else and then saying, well, that's just life. But it's not life. Putting gas in your car is not life. Getting a paycheck is not life. Turning on the TV to watch it is not life. Arguing with a random stranger in your live chat is not life. And like, people just are so used to it that they think that's life now. It's not life. Having mental disorders is not life. It's not normal. They're trying to normalize it, but it's not normal. And anything that's not love centered, anything that doesn't stem from life, is not normal. And they're trying to make you feel comfortable with being a zombie and with like death. They want you to be comfortable with death and war and sickness. They want you to feel like that's normal because that's what they profit off of. And it's like the people who are like so invested in those things are going to try to shame people who are living naturally and authentically. So I can't imagine like paying monthly for my phone subscription or my phone bill just to argue with some random stranger in a live chat online. Like that's a waste of money for me. Like I'm not gonna waste my money, paying for my data on my phone just to argue with people online and then get nothing in return. I don't even know why I'm still paying for it. Like if I'm gonna be paying my phone bill, like I might as well just live stream. And do something with that because I don't talk to anybody on the phone. Nobody's really calling me. All I get is like those automated texts to verify the accounts that I log into, and that's the only thing I use my phone for. But I don't use it to talk to people or real people. So I just had a question: how much control do I really have over my life and over my things now? Because like you could own something and then they could say like no, but actually you don't own it. You have to still pay for the fact that you own it, and it's like why, because I have like a whole storage unit of stuff, and the only reason I is in storage is because I don't have a place big enough to put all my stuff. So I'm not going to forget about it just because like some people don't want me to have things and own things because like you know you're not an animal. You're not like what do you call it? A spirit, because spirits don't own things. I'm a physical being, so I can own physical things. I need physical things because I'm living in a physical world. So people are zombies, and I'm just noticing that now. I'm trying to think, how long have they been zombies? Have they always been like this? Because like I don't remember. Maybe they're just getting old because they don't want to live anymore. I mean, they're not living anymore. They're not in they reject everything that gives life and that is about life. Like for example, my mom and her husband, they don't like reading other books that's not the Bible. And of course they're at church right now pretending like they're good people. But I don't want to hear anything about church, anything from church people trying to say something about anything like life and stuff because they're not living. They're like under a dang. I remembered a good word. It was a good word to describe it that I just found out a few days ago. No, it started with like something sub something. Well, I can't remember the word, but it started with an S. A word used to describe when religion turns into politics. That's what it is now. They're just like someone in the comments said, "So you're hating on your parents for being good people?" No, I don't know where you got that from because that's not even the energy that I'm giving off. See, the person in the comments immediately went to hate when I'm not even giving off the vibe of hatred. People are not tapped into their emotions. So how can you identify emotions when you're not even tapped into your own emotions? You're not very good at identifying emotions. So where was I? Yeah, the church faith-based organizations are after money. They're after money. They want you to go there, either pay tithes or they get a tax write-off from the government, church, or like for being in business because it's still a business. It's still a business. They're getting their money from something or someone. They're getting paid to talk. They're getting paid to talk to people. They're getting government grants to stay in business. And as long as sick people keep going to the church and listening to them, they're going to stay in business. Like, they got to keep finding, these faith-based organizations have to keep on finding something wrong with people, especially the Christian ones, because that's how they get their money. Every time I go to church, there's always someone talking about a problem they have, like their disease, or them going through a divorce, or, just a problem. And then the church goes, oh, that's bad. Let's pray for you. And then they act like they did something. Let's pray for them. Let's read the Bible. They don't even read the Bible in church. Like, they read one verse and then they just start talking about their problems again. But they don't really read the Bible. They just like to judge. They get off on sick people and people with issues. Then they use the Bible, which they don't even understand. They can't even comprehend the Bible. And then they start like using Bible verses that they don't even understand against you. And that's how they get their money. That's how they stay in business. And that's why I don't go to church anymore. Because, like, it could be like the shadiest, scummiest person calling themselves a pastor. And in the name of, they use the name of the Lord to justify what they talk about. Meanwhile, they're still begging for money. Church does not get paid. Yes, they do. Yes, they do get paid. The church does get paid. How do you think they stay in business if they weren't getting paid? Like, who would pay for their electricity bill? Who would pay for their seats? Who would pay for the all the stuff that goes inside the church? You think that comes from thin air? It comes from something. Who would pay for the clothes that the choir wears? Who would pay for all that other stuff that goes into the church? Someone pays for that. Who would pay for the jumbo-sized screens that they have in those churches now that displays like movies and little skits? Someone pays for that. You said, let's say they get money. Let's say they get money. Like it's something imaginary that I made up. Let's say the church gets money. Because that's such an impossible concept. Because the church, he's trying to say the church doesn't get money. The people that says this stuff do not get paid, it's volunteer. Yeah, people do volunteer for the church, but they're not the ones running the church. They're the volunteers, not the ones who run the church. They're not the ones who own the land or the establishment. They're volunteers. They're not the pastors. Because my mom would volunteer for that all the time. For any not-profit organization, you get volunteers for that. When you call yourself a not-for-profit organization, you can have volunteers. Except for the library. They don't have Yeah, actually they do. At the library, I once volunteered to do stuff at the library. Because the library is also a not-for-profit organization. But the librarians are still getting paid. And so does the organization. So don't be a sucker and do work for free. Because that's what they want too. Like, they're not valuing your time. But the volunteers value their time. But that's still not living. That's not living. That's like donating your time for a cause. And yeah, they're just taking up your time and your life and your money just so you believe in a cause. And where does that get them? Nowhere. Do be a sucker. Do be a sucker if that doesn't even make any sense. It said, do be a sucker if it's for God. God doesn't want you to be a sucker. I don't know what, that's like straight out of an imp's mouth. straight out of an imp's mouth would say that. God doesn't want you to be a sucker. He doesn't want you to be like sick or like fooled, because that's like operating off fear and lies. Because like God doesn't operate off of fear and lies, or like wanting you to be a sucker. You if you want to worship the devil or something like that, then you could be a sucker, because that's or something. Actually, it's not even like the certain demons, like it's not the devil that wants you to be a sucker. It's like little imps, like lower level, lesser being imps that want you to be a sucker, because they thrive off of petty things and scamming people and making suckers out of people, and like trifling things, like doing things out of emotions only, like an animal would do, because only animals operate off emotions and things like that. So you do believe in God. Where did I say I didn't believe in God? You're not listening. You're not listening. You're just running your mouth. You're missing the whole point of me doing this stream and wasting your life. Who pays your internet bill? Did you pay your internet bill just to argue with people online? Did you pay your phone plan just to argue with strangers online? Because the whole point of this stream is we are animals. Okay, you gotta go. You gotta go now. He just said we are animals. You gotta go. You gotta go, because I'm not listening to someone who believes people are animals. You gotta go. You gotta get out of my chat. You believe people are animals. I'm not listening to you. You just remove this person. Ugh. That's the first sign. That's the first red flag. If someone says we are animals, block them, delete them. Don't listen to them. They believe they're on the same level of animals. I mean, even if you're like comfortable with being a zombie, that's like a whole other thing than just believing you're an animal. Why is he still talking? I blocked him. Hiding. It's like if someone says you're an animal, they're the type of person who believes like their dog or their cat. They're a dog, they're a cat, they're an animal or something like that. So it's like, you believe you're an animal, then you don't deserve money, you don't deserve rights, you don't deserve to own land. You know, you don't deserve to have human rights if you think you're an animal. Get out of my chat with that. Okay, because I'm not playing with someone who thinks they're an animal. Next thing you know, they'll just be having sex with animals. If you believe you're an animal, you're probably doing inappropriate things with them. Ugh, God. Disgusting people. Some people are just disgusting. Yeah, but anyway, the title of this chat, my stream was supposed to be like how people are. You see how the chat just tries to like distract you from people who are not even interested in what you're talking about. They just want to argue with you in your chat, just to be like, this is what I believe. This is what I believe. If you want to talk about what you believe, then go do a live stream with yourself. But this is what I'm talking about. Some people who aren't even bold enough to turn on their camera want to say something in my chat about how something I'm saying is wrong. But like, these are the people who are just even afraid to live life authentically. All they can do is just come into your chat and argue with people online. They won't go outside. They won't touch grass. They won't drink water. they live off alcohol and things like that. Like, they're afraid of procreation and, like, your natural desires. They're scared of that. Then they go to church to try to pray away the things that they feel bad about. I mean, meanwhile, the things that they're trying to pray about probably won't even be something bad. It'll just be something like someone guilted them into thinking it was bad, but it won't actually even be a sin. It's just like kind of a fetish thing that the church does. It's just like they're fetishizing a problem that could easily be solved through understanding, but they just would rather fetishize it. I can't even remember what this person was trying to say about me, like, because it was so trifling. Just going back and forth. They like going back and forth. They like intensifying problems and making it seem like it's bigger than it actually is, when it's actually very easy to fix a problem. There wasn't even a problem. He's just like commenting and saying very ignorant things without any information. But yeah, I heard enough of. As soon as he said like we are animals, I'm like, okay, done. I don't need to hear anything else from this person. I mean, I should have blocked him in the first place, but like I just wanted to keep on seeing how far he would go with his ignorance. Because some people go very far with their ignorance, dedicate their whole life with their ignorance, and get nowhere. They lose everything because they're so committed to death and zombifying themselves that they would rather be that than live. So I want to also talk about when people start saying work is all that matters. You know, there's different levels to this when I'm talking about, and it could go on for a while with me talking about it. But yeah, just like simple-minded people always want to distract you with what is important, and then just trying to like take the whole conversation in a completely different direction just because they believe otherwise. And it's just like that's not a way to live off your beliefs with no proof. When you believe in things you don't understand, you suffer. And people are suffering. Just like that song goes, when you believe in things you don't understand, they suffer. Very superstitious. Very superstitious. You shouldn't live your life based off superstitions. Facts, documents, proof, receipts. Not just believing off someone or believing something just because someone's getting all emotional about it. Yeah, if you're like making comments in the chat, I can't see them. YouTube is automatically going to block a comment that's inappropriate, so I don't see it. But that's the internet. That's the internet for you. Welcome to the internet, where you could have an ignorant opinion and it doesn't matter because you didn't write a book about it or anything like that. You didn't write a book about it. You didn't make a podcast about it. You sure? No, I didn't read it. It says this message is held for your review. So I didn't look at it. Okay, there's a person in here who's like, how am I getting anime weebs in my chat? Because my account isn't even about that. Anime weebs in here. Laughing about stupid things. LMAO. He said he LMAO'd about it. No, you didn't. You didn't laugh. You're not laughing. You're just sad. You didn't laugh. You're not finding humor in it. You're just very sad. a very sad person. I don't like it when people watch anime and they don't even understand the message. Because some anime has very deep meaning. Because his username is Sosuke Aizen. I was just watching Bleach the other day. Bleach, the Hell Arc movie. Because they have very coded messages in anime. Um, the part where Renji said to Ichigo when he was a monster, you need to return to the world of the living. And he held out his hand. There was a cross on his hand. And I was like, oh, I get it. The world of the living. That's what the cross symbolizes. Life. Um, but you know, they don't even understand it, so they have to like make it seem like it's the church doesn't even understand what the meaning of the cross means. It's a consciousness. The cross symbolizes a consciousness, not someone being nailed to the cross like a block of wood. It symbolizes a consciousness. You have to be conscious to be alive. And some people are in that death energy. So that's what it meant. In the movie when Ichigo turned into a monster, he was dead. He wasn't human, he wasn't living, he was just a raging, monstrous beast, operating off his anger and his hatred and emotions. So when Renji was like, return to the world of the living, he had a cross on his hand facing him. He's like, you need to wake up and be alive again. And when he did that, he woke up out of hell and he was alive again. That's what people don't understand, what the cross symbolizes. It doesn't mean somebody, was like nailed to the cross and suffering and like died for your sins. It means he became conscious that he was alive. So he woke up to a higher level of being. So that a lot of people are in the death energy. Most people are in the death energy. They're not alive. They're zombies. They're operating off anger and fear and hatred. They're dead. They're not alive. So you have to return to the world of the living and be conscious. With the cross, it symbolizes consciousness. That famous quote, I think, therefore I am. People aren't thinking. They're not being. They're not alive. AKA, they're dead. They're skeletons. They want to sit on a couch all day watching TV instead of living or touching grass or anything associated with being alive and naturally alive. So yeah, that's just what that person in the comments reminded me of, because like I do watch Bleach and anime, but like some weebs and super ultra dorks and nerds don't even understand the message behind anime. They just think it looks cool or the characters are cool. But there's a message in anime. This is why I don't think I'm gonna be going to any anime conventions anymore, because it's fun, but the people there, they're most likely socially awkward, very socially awkward, and yeah, it's not that they're socially awkward. It's just it's just trendy. It's nothing but a trend to them or something to be social about. But I'd rather just watch my favorite anime shows and then absorb the message and appreciate the artwork than just be social about it or political about it. Because I don't need to be social or political about things that I like, because I like them and I understand them. I understand the message as well. Some people are just doing it for vain reasons like attention. So I made my point. If you didn't get the point, then you probably are here for vain reasons. Like as soon as I turn on my camera, everybody just started complimenting my appearance. Like that just lets me know you're not listening. You're not even into the message. You're on this on a surface level. So how could you ever be real friends or be married to someone if you're only paying attention to the surface level? You're not going to get very far if you're only paying attention to surface level things. You're not going to get that deep into someone's life if you're always paying attention to physical appearances like hair, jewelry, and nails. You're not paying attention. So that's what I had to say for my live stream. Thanks for watching. And if you were listening, if you were actually listening, thanks for listening. And I'll see you next time on the next one. Bye.